Hey there, Big Maple faithful. Settle into the beating heart of Bud's country. Because Boys in Blue News has just landed with a story that could shake the foundations of Scotiabank Arena. Today's topic is hot, full of emotion, speculation, and a generous pinch of hope. Because when the Robertson brothers enter the same storyline and names like Morgan Rielly are on the trade table, Leafs Nation doesn't just watch. They feel every beat like a power play in Game 7 of the playoffs. And this, my friends, is the kind of news that makes the blue and white soul pause to take a deep breath before shouting louder than ever, "Go Leafs, go!" The Toronto Maple Leaf season is far from stagnant. Between fiery debates about Nick Robertson's future, the relentless search for a second-line center, and the never-ending craving for an elite offensive defenseman, the Leafs seem to live in a permanent state of transformation. And even after a hectic offseason, marked by Mitch Marner's departure to the Vegas Golden Knights, it still feels like something is missing. Something to reignite the fire. Something to restore the blue and white's belief that the Stanley Cup dream is still alive. And that's where he comes in, Jason Robertson, the Dallas Stars prodigy. According to Heavy.com, the Leafs are reportedly exploring a bold move that would see Robertson don the blue and white, while Morgan Rielly would go the other way, landing in Dallas. A rumor that, at first glance, seems risky, but the more you analyze it, the more sense it makes. Rielly is undoubtedly one of the most emblematic Leafs players of the last decade. Drafted in 2012, the left-shot defenseman carried the team through rebuilding seasons, led during turbulent times, and was always a stabilizing figure in the locker room. His 41 points in 82 games last season show represents a short-term gas in the tank, and his tactical awareness has improved year after year. But time doesn't stop, and age is starting to weigh. At 31, Rielly enters a career phase where trades become more delicate, and his $7.5 million annual contract represents a heavy investment in a player who may already be past his peak. On the other hand, Jason Robertson is pure ascension. At just 26 years old, he already boasts consecutive 80-point seasons, including 35 goals last year. Tall, strong, skilled, and with a killer scoring instinct, the winger is the embodiment of the NHL's new generation. His presence in Toronto wouldn't just fill the void left by Marner. It would usher in a new offensive era for the Leafs. An attack led by Matthews, Nylander, and Robertson sounds like music to any Leaf Army supporter. Financially, the situation is tight. Robertson still has 1 year left on his contract, worth $7.775 million, but projections suggest his next deal could be around $11.5 million over 8 years. It's a heavy gamble, but one that could yield massive competitive dividends. The Stars, in turn, face a dilemma. They know the talent they have on their hands, but they fear they won't be able to afford his raise. According to Nick Kiprios of Sportsnet, there's concern within the Dallas front office that Robertson may head to arbitration and become a UFA in 2027. And losing a talent like that for nothing would be a disaster. That's where Toronto comes in as the ideal partner. With an adjusted cap space and a front office willing to take risks to take the next step, a trade for Jason becomes more than logical. It becomes necessary. And here's the detail that warms the hearts of Leafs Nation even more. Jason is Nick Robertson's brother. And for the first time in their careers, the two could play together in the NHL. Nick, by the way, is a whole story on his own. Drafted with high expectations, his journey with the Leafs has been marked by injuries, limited opportunities, and restricted ice time. But the talent has always been there, just waiting for the right chance. And what better opportunity than sharing the ice with his older brother? That emotional connection might be exactly what Nick needs to finally take off. Furthermore, Jason's presence alone could transform Nick's energy, giving him confidence, freedom, and a new sense of purpose. The Leafs would then have a double weapon, a proven goal scorer and a potential breakout star. Just imagine a line with Jason, Nick, and Matthews. The combination of skill, speed, and family chemistry could become one of the NHL's most thrilling stories. Of course, not everything is rosy. Rielly has a no movement clause. He stated back in May that he had no intention of leaving Toronto, showing his attachment to the city and the team. But hockey is a cruelly pragmatic sport, and sometimes even the strongest bonds must be broken for the greater good. The lingering question is, Would he accept the trade, knowing he'd be leaving behind a major legacy, but also making room for a historic offensive overhaul? From the Stars' perspective, Rielly wouldn't just be a replacement. He'd bring depth, experience, and refined puck movement. He could lead a new generation of Dallas defensemen and offer the team the balance they lacked in key moments. His playoff experience and locker room presence would be valuable to a group still seeking maturity. And let's be honest, the Leafs need to be bold. For years, they've come up short. They've changed coaches, tweaked the roster, moved secondary pieces, but the core remained the same. Now, with Marner gone and really possibly next, the team is beginning to reinvent itself. And maybe this is the answer fans have long awaited. Not just a trade, but a paradigm shift, a bet on the new, on potential, on blood. And the symbolism of it all can't be ignored. Seeing two brothers representing the blue and white, fighting side by side, uniting talent and personal history. That's something that transcends the ice. It's the kind of narrative that moves fans, inspires kids, and strengthens a locker room spirit. Currently, the Leafs have just under $2 million in cap space. But secondary moves, like the potential departures of David Kampf or Kaye Jarnkrok, both listed as possible trade candidates, could open room to accommodate Robertson. Nothing is guaranteed, but the front office has already shown a willingness to make bold moves if it means leveling up. At the end of the day, the question that echoes is simple yet deep. What's the price of the next step? Would losing really be a fair price to pay for a real shot at the Stanley Cup? Or are we once again trading certainty for promise? What's undeniable is that this potential move reignites the debate, the passion, and the identity of a team that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Toronto wants more, needs more, and Jason Robertson might be exactly that, the catalyst of a new era. So Leafs Nation, is the trade worth it? Is Jason Robertson the answer for a team that always seems one step from the dream, but eternally stuck in the same dilemmas? Or is losing really just too high a price, even for such a brilliant talent? While the front office debates, the fans watch with their hearts in their throats. Because this kind of story isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. And as always, the Big Maple stage remains a theater where drama, glory, and heartbreak dance side by side. The future of our buds is more alive than ever, and you're part of this story. Hit that like button, subscribe to Boys in Blue News, and drop a comment telling us which part of today's news made your heart race.